So, Parapapaya the Rapper returned from its grave to bring nostalgia to our mind and to compete against all these other rhythm games of 2017. I would show some at the screen if I would know any. Yeah, the main thing is Pyjama Pan returned, and when I heard these news last year, it gave me strong hopes for other PlayStation franchises to return on the PS4, one of which was always a really special franchise to me. Coming from the home of the show, Little Britain, yeah, it's Austria. Jokes aside, the franchise I'm talking about is the British hack and slay franchise MediEvil for the original PlayStation 1. Originally planned as an arcade-styled multiplayer game with an Tim Burton / Ghost and Ghouls style. It was later decided on by the creator Chris Sorrell, also known as the creator of James Bond, to change it more towards a Zelda-styled game, which Sony found really impressive when they saw the project of Millennium Studios, which resolved into a partnership between developers Millennium Studios and Sony Computer Entertainment to make the game a PlayStation 1 exclusive title, which turned out to be a good decision since the game sold extremely well on the platform it was released on. The team Millennium Studios was bought by Sony alongside the MediEvil franchise, which resolved into a name change from Millennium Studios to Sony Cambridge, and also to all the future games to be Sony exclusives, some of which are C12, Primal, a MediEvil sequel, and even a PSP remake of the first MediEvil. You can quite tell that I am a big fan of this franchise, but here is the thing, how can you not love this franchise? It is such a nice art style and fantastic Halloween atmosphere, and funny dark humor, and a really innovative story. I mean, practically you're playing as a reborn knight who once fell within a single shot in the eye at the very start of an epic battle against his nemesis Zarok. And why? To get a second chance of defeating his nemesis so that he can at least return to his graveyard as an hero, and not as a guy who gets shot in the eye the very second the battle starts. I mean, look at this. Pathetic. But here is the thing, why can't we see this franchise return after so many years of Daniel waiting in its grave? I mean, just imagine these horror worlds in more detailed HD adventure, or the amazing soundtrack by original composers Paul Arnold and Andrew Barnabas in the new Sir Daniel adventure for the PlayStation 4. I mean, it would be possible, right? Sony owns the franchise. Sir Daniel remembered people that he existed in PlayStation All-Stars Battle Royale, in which also Parapaya was a playable character that recently got his remake. And the developers of MediEvil still being active. There might be a strong chance of MediEvil coming to PS4, right? Well, there is one problem. The developers in fact don't exist anymore because Sony closed the studio down in early 2017 for whatever reason. But hey, still this does not mean that our hopes are completely lost. In fact, Sony are the ones who have the rights to this franchise, and Sony actually did once try to bring back the franchise in 2010 by allowing a school in Britain to pitch their ideas for the franchise, some of which were a tower defense game with PlayStation Move controls, and car combat game for the PSP, and a card game for the PSP. Sadly, none of those were released, though I would have liked a tower defense game. Sony never even gave a reason why it was cancelled. Maybe they just thought it wasn't the right return for the MediEvil franchise on the console. Nonetheless, I just want to see this franchise return finally. I am sure most of the people who watch this video wanted to. Some fans even recreated MediEvil in the Unreal Engine 4 and as a mod in Skyrim, which both just really show how good this franchise could look and work on modern day consoles. Sony could easily just ask other developers to create a new game like they did with Sly 4, which was developed by Sansaru instead of Sucker Punch. In fact, Sansaru could work well as a developer of a new MediEvil game. Just think about it. Sony even returned Wipeout and Shadow of the Beast for the PlayStation 4 without the original developers, so this practically proves that it definitely has a chance of returning to the PS4. But here's the thing, if we would see the announcement of a new MediEvil game on a possible E3, which we'll most likely see next year on the 20th anniversary of the MediEvil franchise, then how exactly would you like the franchise to return? I know for a fact that I don't want another remake from the ground up or a remaster, as I truly believe that this franchise needs a reboot with some modernized gameplay. But in the end, I would be happy with anything we would get, to be honest, as long as Sir Daniel comes back on the PS4 next year. Tell me how you would like the franchise to return it, if you think they'll ever return it in first place. Well, I definitely think they will. If even Parappa Pops came back this year for his 20th anniversary, then Daniel surely can as well for his birthday next year. I hope you liked this video. I was your host, Toxik-Vermin. If you want to watch more videos like these, I will definitely do more like these in the future, so you can subscribe to my channel and like this video if you liked it. I hope you liked this, and I see you next time. Goodbye, guys.